Well, hello, and welcome. It's me, it's Joy. It's Joy Ruffin coming to you from the Sunshine State, Florida, and it's always good to be with you. It's Wednesday night, so Wednesday night, every Wednesday night, with few exceptions, it's leading ladies, leading legacies, living legacies, and we never disappoint. Tonight we have a lovely young lady with us who's going to share an absolutely fantastic story. But before we do that, let me just say welcome and thank you always for being here, for showing up, because we know that this is not the best time. But we all have a story, we all have a journey that we're on. And so my intention is for leading ladies, leading legacies, living legacies, is that you will hear other people's stories, their journey, why they do what they do, so that it will be inspirational, inspiring, and motivational for you. And tonight is no exception. I'm going to ask you to help me to welcome our guest tonight. I see that she's disappeared here, but I'm going to hope that she'll come over. And she just disappeared from the screen here. I don't know what happened, but I don't know if you can hear me, Belinda. Can you?
I can. I'm here.
Belinda Strachan is one of our leading ladies that I've known for quite a while. And she has a lot of information to share with you about her journey. She was here in bold color and absolutely scrumptious looking, and now she's absolutely disappeared. So I don't know what happened. Belinda, are you there? She's
Yes,
not there,
ma'am.
so
I
I
am
can't say
still
what
here.
happened. She just went boom, 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 boom. I love this stuff. It's never a dull moment. I'm hoping she'll show up and she'll come back. I don't know what happened. She was having some issues with her computer. And you and I know that when it comes to this computer world, you never know what's going to happen. So I'm not sure where she went to and why she's not here and what happened, but she's not. So that being
Sure.
the case, let me just share a little bit with you about her, because what do you say? You don't talk behind their back, you talk in front of their face. So whether she comes back or not, we're going to continue on because that's what we do. Belinda Strom, she is a person who she says, I'm a person that absolutely loves defying human statistic. But more importantly, I believe the universe listens when we speak, that the Lord can turn oil into triumph. And she believes in the strength of the human spirit. Believing, not hoping or wishing is what has driven her through her life. She said, I can't imagine waking up each day and not having something or someone to believe in. Isn't that true for all of us? I think it is. She says, I'm a wife, a mother, a daughter, a grand many aunt, a friend, a cheerleader, founder of a nonprofit author company, a creator, a business owner, restoration justice, peacekeeping facilitator, and a grief share facilitator. That's how I met her, by the way. And it seems that she's still not in, so I don't know. I'm going to see if I can call her and ask her if she's going to be able to come in. But I met Belinda at one of the centers that I was working for, with volunteering, I should say, with young girls. And what happened is she was a human resource director there. And this was, for me, a fascinating time because being a juvenile delinquent girl many, many moons ago, I discovered that bottom line. Thank you for calling True. Oh, that's not her. She's not there. That many girls need a lot of help. And that said, let's see if this is her. I think this might be her. What happened is that I discovered that so many of these young girls need a lot of help. And that being the case, Belinda?
Yes, I'm able
What?
to see you.
You can see me, but I can't see you. What happened?
I can
We're
see you
on
and
we're
hear
on
you.
the air. This is live and this is fun.
Well, hello,
I
everyone.
see your name and I see everything, but I don't see your face, your picture. So what I'm going to do is ask you to go out and come back in, and let's see
Sure.
what happens.
Okay, I'll try that.
Try that. We never say die here. We just keep going. I'm going to drop you out here and see if you can come back in that way.
Okay.
This is such fun. I
It
tell
is.
you, by the time I'm 110, I think you're coming in now, but the picture is black. Then I'll be a TV, not a TV, I'll be a tech genius.
I think you're going to be a
But your picture is not coming in though. I see your name and I see to the broadcast, but you're not showing up.
And it tells me, it says you are in the show.
Yeah, but you are in the show, your name, but I don't see your picture and I don't see your lovely face.
Oh.
And I don't know what you changed there because you were clear as a glow, a light there before. What happened?
I'm gonna read one more time. How about that?
Okay, sure, why not? We have nothing to lose.
No.
And maybe something to gain.
Absolutely.
You know, we have a new platform that they say is much easier. Did you change anything while I was doing the welcome and inviting?
No, ma'am. I sat here like a stone statue.
Uh-huh.
Didn't move my foot.
Well, you're coming in loud and clear as far as your name, but your picture is not showing up. That's what I don't understand. Mm-hmm.
So I'm connected again. And it says I'm in the lobby. Can you see me now?
I can see to the broadcast and the screen is black and I see your name, but I don't see your face.
So I can see myself and you.
Now I see you. What did you do? Because here I'm bringing you up to the broadcast now. I love this stuff.
I logged
Okay, I'm going to hang up on you. Here you are.
I logged out and went back into the link.
All righty. This is really exciting for me. I hope the people who are tuned in are enjoying it as well. Now what I'm going to try and attempt to do is bring you over to, there you are. Belinda, hello and welcome. I'm going to hang up on the phone now. Listen, it's never a dull moment. Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Belinda, I already did the introduction. It's all yours. I gave them a little bit about you and that life happens and change of seasons and so on and so forth. So tell us a little bit about you and thank you. You are a brave, courageous soul and I'm right there with you. Go.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Ms. Joy. I really appreciate it. So
You're
as you
welcome.
said, I am a daughter, wife, mother, author, entrepreneur, activist, survivor, believer, and those are all the hats I wear daily. During the day, by day, from 9 to 5, I am an HR director at a local hospital. I've been doing HR work for over 25 years. I attempted to leave it at one point for 2 years, but I went right back to it because you do what you know, and I know HR.
Yes. Well, I was telling them before when we got disconnected that's how I met you. When I came to volunteer at, I won't mention the name, one of the facilities that you were working at. And that's how you and I connected. I said earlier in the preamble to the show, hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you, brave souls, for staying in there and hanging in here with us. That I met you because any and everyone who volunteers with young people, boys and girls, they get my heart right away because I remember what it was to be young. And I know how much you enjoy working with young people as well. Tell us a little bit about your story, Belinda, that you shared with me that I had no clue until I'd been around you for oh my God, almost a year before you told me the story about your daughter. Share with us why it's so important. You said life happens, how we preserve, and how we have to learn to flourish. So share with us a little bit about your story and why that's so important to you.
Well, I'll start off with, I lost my oldest daughter in 2009.
Yes.
She was murdered during a home invasion. And I'm a firm believer in a higher power. And for me, that's Jesus Christ. When I went to Martin Girl, oops, I didn't want to name a name.
That's okay.
At
Listen.
a facility that I worked at, I had a lot of training along with everyone else that worked there. It was about restorative justice. I facilitated peacekeeping circles.
Yes.
And I really believe that we are placed in positions and situations that help us later on. So I was engrossed in this peacekeeping and the restorative justice process
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, it helped me in our own situation during the season of losing, our oldest daughter. It helped me navigate the judicial system. It helped me with my grief. Being around therapists all those years at the facility helped me understand and realize how important therapy was
Mm-hmm.
for our own sanity.
Yes.
So I was able to take care of my family, take care of myself. And that's not to say that the person you see here is who I was then. I was a total mess,
I'm
total
sure.
and complete mess.
Oh my goodness.
But
How old was your daughter again, Belinda?
she was 26.
She was 26. All right. And this was a home invasion. That I missed that somehow.
Yes.
And at the time, were you working in, I've forgotten, were you working in the judicial system at that time, or
I
after?
was.
You was. Good. Good.
I
That's what I meant.
absolutely was. Yes. I left work on a Friday, and that was the last day that I had a normal day. She was killed that Sunday. I often think, I quite remember very clearly telling people, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday.
Yes.
And I did see them on Monday, but it was weeks later. And so it's really important when you're saying, think about your words, having a great weekend, because I absolutely had a great weekend until that call came in.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But
I can imagine. I can imagine, Belinda. This is why you're sharing the story. The title that you gave me, When Life Backfires, How to Survive and Flourish in It. So how long did it take you to get to that point, though? That doesn't happen overnight. This is a in-depth tragedy that happens in your life, but something triggered you at what time to continue, to keep on, to keep going?
I think having my younger children, first of all, I could fall apart at night or in the privacy of my bedroom, or privacy with my husband, but I had to keep showing my children that life keeps going, that we cannot let this define us.
Right.
It's a major part of all of our lives, but we could not be, I did not want to be known as the mother of the girl that was murdered. Her siblings did not want to be known as the siblings of the girl that was murdered. We wanted to define our own lives. And so I used my voice because I had to be her voice. I could take care of my kids that were here surviving, but I had to go to court and I had to go to present these victim impact statements. I had to be her voice. And so that gave me the push I needed to keep moving every day, because it's the last thing that I could ever do for her.
That is so powerful.
That
is so powerful. And that was not easy. We know that was not easy.
No, not at all. We've done it as a family 5 different times for 5 different convictions.
Oh my goodness.
But with that, I also found that I smiled. One of my daughters had a baby about 6 months after my daughter's death. And it was the first time I really caught myself smiling. It was amazing. It felt like a new person. It made my faith a lot stronger, because the pain I felt initially, I couldn't imagine how I was going to wake up the next day, let alone think about next week or the next Christmas or holiday. But I kept waking up. There were mornings I'd wake up with tears already in my eyes before I fully had a realization that I was waking up again. Yes. And I just thought, my word, how do you have this much pain and continue to wake up?
Yes.
But I realized the power of prayer, because when I couldn't pray for myself, there were people all over, strangers, family members, friends, that were praying for me. And I know that that's what kept us going.
That's very significant statement that you made there, because none of us get through anything alone. None of us do anything alone. And it takes a tribe or community, a group of people. And sometimes it might be people that you don't really even know, but when they hear, because when the heart rules, they will come to your aid and be there for you. Now, I know that you've done something that just blew me away when you shared it with me. You put a foundation together for your daughter. So tell us a little bit about how long, it doesn't matter how long after, but when did you do that? And how are you doing with that? Because this is something that any and everyone should know about, because you took something that was beyond tragedy and turned it into something that will benefit the memory and the voice and all of that of your daughter.
Absolutely. Our children and I, we formed Tamika's House, and it got its name because our house was Tamika's house. She had the innate ability of finding everybody who needed something, whether it was clothes, food, whatever,
Yes.
and bringing them to our house. So I will be honest, back then we went to battles with her because we were like, you cannot just bring strange people into our house.
Ah.
And to her, everybody she met was a friend. And she'd be like, Mom, those are not strangers. I'd walk in, my husband's sitting at the kitchen, well, standing in the kitchen, making pots of food, feeding people at our, counter. And I'd be like, who are these people? And he's like, I don't know. Tamika brought them home. So we decided to form a foundation called Tamika's House. And because of the work in the facility, I realized that we need to reach our children much sooner, not after they get arrested or once they start being truant or once we find out that they have trouble at school. Our children need to be reached in that age group of like 5th, 6th graders between the ages of 10 and 12. That's when they start kind of leaving away from their parents and forming their own identity.
Yes.
But oftentimes that may get mixed up with other students or children in the neighborhood who may not have their best interest at heart. So Tamika's House, the concept was that we would reach kids by providing things as simple as a Ziploc bag full of toiletries. With the economy the way it is for some households, we have people who have to make a decision between purchasing food or maybe purchasing toothpaste and toothbrushes or deodorant. And kids can be very cruel. So if you're able to provide a child with toiletries, then they smell good. So they're not going to school and people are not making fun of the way they might smell. It's a simple concept, but it's one a lot of people don't think of.
Yeah.
Providing kids with, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. But you mentioned something there that sometimes I think most all of us forget from time to time, because kids are kids. They're evolving, they're growing. Yet the description that you gave us for Tamika about how she was so loving and open and brought everybody home and didn't matter when, where, how, and they came, or what background or upbringing, it didn't matter. She had a connection. But kids can be cruel, especially when things aren't right for them and the foundational base home is not good for them. So obviously she went way beyond that and she embraced everyone. But you have to remember that kids can be cruel, especially when they're hurting.
Yes.
They're in pain. Yeah. So what you're doing as far as the Tamika House and bringing in all of these things and connecting with people, that's really good. Now, are you still working with young people, volunteering with them or doing anything along that line?
I do in a different concept. So we do still have Tamika's House. We have been having benefits where we raise funds and provide scholarships. And we're not looking for the honor roll student per se. We're looking for the ones who are struggling through school, but definitely have a hope and a desire to go further in their academic career and want to go to college. So those are the kids who get our scholarships.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. We recently opened our own business called Revels PSL. And it's not just for kids. It's where we want families, corporations to bring their employees to engage and just have a great time. I'm all about laughter and having fun now because life really is short.
This is a full circle, 360, go around and around and around and come back to have fun, enjoy, build good, hearty, healthy relationships. Is that what this new business is about?
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit more about, you have gone, when you said that we persevere like the seasons and that life presents seasons to us and we change, we all get it now. When did you decide and how did you decide to establish this type of a business? Where is it? And what is it that you're offering? I heard you somewhat, but give us a little bit more data about that. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you. So yes, life is about seasons. We went through our season of grief, our season of fighting, you know, and being an advocate for her in the judicial system. And then we had our season where our family was just flourishing. And I'm looking at these new babies in our family, and there's always that little sense of, I wish she was here. However, she was like one of the happiest people you'd ever want to meet, always smiling, laughing, up for a good time. We're still doing Tamika's house, but I couldn't get so enmeshed in other people's grief that I lost sight of ourselves. And that can happen really easily.
Yes.
So Rebels came about because we've always, I think everybody has the American dream to open up their own business and all of that. And, you know, we got kids in college, we have grandchildren now. So this concept has been with us for quite some years, but last year we decided to step out on faith and let's do it.
Let's back up a little bit now, because I'm missing some bolts, and I know everybody out there has as insatiable curiosity as I do. You had Tamika was your oldest. You have how many? You have 3 other kids or 2?
4 girls and a boy.
Oh my.
Yes.
And so they're all adults now?
The boy is not. He's almost there. He's going to be.
The boy is still at home with you.
Yes, our son is still the baby.
And so you and hubby decided that you would do this Rebels.
Yes, Rebels PSL.
Well.
So it's 3,000 square feet of fun. You can have corporate events, graduations, birthdays. And if most families have such a mix, for instance, so we have these babies who are having first birthday parties. And so, of course, my husband has to attend as the grandfather, and then you have the younger kids and everybody in between. And usually, you know, the kids are getting yelled at because they're running around, and the adults are playing one type of music and the teenagers don't want to hear that. So Rebels, all of that is situated and settled. There is something for everyone.
Where is it located?
It's in Port St. Lucie on US 1. It's in the Crown Plaza.
Okay.
And yeah, so everybody needs to come and be a reveler. So we have air hockey and karaoke. We have pool tables. We even have Xboxes and PS4 stations.
Is this a membership type of thing, or is there a fee to enter, or do you go in and then it's how does it work?
You rent it just like a party hall. You rent the space for your private or professional event.
Oh.
Yes.
How are you marketing that, my love? How are you getting people? You're in different magazines and newspapers and whatever?
Well, this interview is coming right on time because our radio ads will start this weekend. We're going to be on WIRK, WFLM 95.5. We have like 4 or 5 different radio stations. We have Instagram and Facebook, and we have a little bit of advertising going on, but not much. We weren't pushing it into everything was 100% completed. And as of today, it's 100% completed.
I'll have to come and take my tour.
You absolutely can. Anyone that would like to take a tour can definitely reach us on our website or call us, and we will give them a tour.
I have your website here, so I'm going to put that up. I think that's fantastic. I love the way, well, first off, when I met you, what was it, 3-4 years ago? I think maybe even longer than that. I knew that you were a trooper, right? It takes one to know one. And then when things went awry and we connected again, I love your endurance and your zest for life and how you embrace it. And I know it hasn't been easy for you. And when you sent me your title and you mentioned about the seasons, I think that's so true, because for all of us, most of us, change is difficult to come by, but we have to embrace it. And what you said earlier, Belinda, about how you were smiling, and yet that smile was like a fixture. When did it become more natural for you? After how long?
You know what? All I can say is pain and joy can coexist. They can.
Fascinating.
They can.
Fascinating.
I still have moments and days where I literally wake up and I just feel this, all I call is like the black coke of grief
Yes.
invading me. And now I'm okay with it. That's a day where I might still go to work. I said, sorry, I'm crying. And I miss my daughter. I don't hide the fact. Grief is a natural process that we're all going to have to experience in one way or another. So I'm okay with walking in the grocery store. If I'm crying, oh, well, I'm still going to go pick up the cheese and milk and eggs and keep going. Because life is not going to stop because I'm grieving. Life stopped for me temporarily when I lost my daughter. But as I look around, my children got married. They had children of their own. People were graduating and buying houses and going on vacation. And I could have stayed stuck, or I could keep moving forward. It doesn't mean that I don't love her. I don't miss her. So when I wake up and I grieve for her, I just grieve for her. And even my children, they know, like, okay, mom's having a bad day today. Mom, you okay? I'm like, yes. My husband says, honey, you okay? I say, yeah. I just cry and get it out. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, I wake up the next morning and I'm fine.
Yes. Well, I applaud you, because I think for me, leading ladies, leading legacies, living legacies, and at this stage in time in my life and all of the beautiful, absolutely exquisite women that I'm meeting, I realize more than ever that change is a part of our journey. Change,
Definitely.
if we don't learn, because it might appear that it's beyond devastating, and oftentimes it is, but you have to rise above it. And that's certainly what you have done. And not only have you risen above it, but you've taken it and turned it into something that will benefit so many other people. That's why you are to be applauded. And I'm sure you somehow recognize this, right?
No, not really.
No, not really.
I don't. I'm sure. We stepped out on faith with rebels. I stepped out on faith. I'm sorry, with rebels.
Yes.
And like I said, joy and pain can coexist. So
Yes.
we can either live our life and do the best we can with it every day, or we can stay stuck. And being stuck is not a good place to be.
No.
Not at all.
You said something a little bit earlier that's so true. Life goes on, and you can either wallow in whatever's happened, or you can take it, analyze, understand it somewhat, or maybe not even understand it, and then keep moving forward and let your heart be light. Let it open, because when you do that, you'll invite people in, and people will come in to embrace and to share with you. I love what you're doing, and I love that it's a fun place to go for people to go and have fun as a family, and however they work it out. Time flies here. So is there anything that you want to leave us with? Is there anything you want to share with us before we say so long for now? And I thank you for being a trooper. You hung in there with me. You know what? You have my heart. I will never, ever forget you for so many reasons, which we can't go into now. And I know the feeling is mutual. So is there anything you want to share or say to us before I say so long for now?
I do, Miss Joy. For anyone that has lost someone, I facilitate a grief share group at our local church, at Christ Fellowship Church.
Great.
And if anyone ever stood outside of our door, they would say those people are not grieving, because they would hear lots of laughter. So I want people to remember, like I said, joy and pain can coexist. Don't be afraid to seek what makes you happy, what's good for your soul. Don't be afraid to go to therapy. And if not today, maybe next year, next month, but it's okay to be happy again.
Yes. There's a lady who's tuned in tonight that I want you're on Facebook. Her name is Teresa King Thompson, and she does wonderful work that involves a lot of things, but mainly people who have suffered and attempting to put away stuff and to embrace the new life and all of that stuff. So you two should connect just to be connected. So I'm going to, with her permission, ask you to connect with her, because you never know what connections will bring and what relationships will bring out the best, not only for the two of you, but for other people that you encounter.
For the community, Belinda, I agree. Thank you.
I cannot say thank you enough, because to me, it's kind of trite at this time, because I just love and adore what you're about and what you're doing. I know your story somewhat. I learn each and every time we meet and greet, and I can only say thank you for staying strong and hanging in there and continuing on with me here. I'm going to ask you just for now I'm going to put you solo into the green room.
Okay.
Staging room, we call it now. It has a new name. And I'm going to say so long to the audience. And then if you'll stick around for just a moment or two, I'll come back to say so long to you. And thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes. Listen, Don't we love technology? Yes, we do. We just pull out our hair and everything else, but we just say never. I have that never say die attitude. So thank you, Adair and Teresa, for hanging in there with me and applauding Belinda and myself for doing the same. You learn as you go. You make boo-boos. You get egg on your face. You fall in the mud. You get up, you move, and you start over. And that's what I'm learning to do because I'm a little anal, so I wasn't always very good at this. So thank you, Adair, for the compliment. I really appreciate it. Belinda and I are grateful for it. We neither one of us ever say die. We have that at heart. We both know that. And may I say that when I look out and I see you here, I always say bless you and welcome because I know it's not the best time, but yet it's the best time for us. I hope that you'll stick with us. And by the way, we talked about briefly relationships. Relationships are everything. Relationships, you build everything that you're doing on good, healthy, hearty, strong relationships. And if you are really about relationships, which you are, you wouldn't be here. And you'd like to learn more about your relationship style and how you communicate, there's something called the Bank Code that I am promoting in a healthy way. It's the joint venture thing. It's not my link, but if you type in key, you will be sent a quiz that you will take to find out and discover what your communicating style is. And you'll learn about the other three. And then you can take it from there and do whatever and however you decide to use it. But it's well worth the investment and time that you make to take that quiz because it will share a lot of really good information that you will value. I hope that this was informational and inspirational to you. Belinda is a warrior in the highest sense of the word. Sometimes we overrate words and people because we don't know and we don't connect, but we have warriors and kings and queens and jesters walking among us. And our responsibility is to get to know and share them out to the public and to everyone. So I hope that you enjoyed our conversation tonight. And I hope that you will connect with Belinda. Send her an email, look at her website. If you're here and near, drop into her new business venture. And if not, just contact her and let her know that you tuned in and that your heart is with her because we all need that. Have a great week, a great weekend. Enjoy. All the best. We'll see you next week, same time, same station. Until then, take care of you first and do the very best that you can because only then are you going to be able to look after and care for other people. So long for now, my friend. Until we meet the next time. All the best. Cheers.